Sasalan mo muna.
Parang magaganda pa ito ah.
Eh, sasabit doon sa bato. Siya yung susunod. Uy, t-shirt ko! Paalam! Wala nang lilingon.
Hanging coffins. As bizarre as it sounds, but this tradition is followed in China, the Philippines, and Indonesia. It was carried out by the Igorot tribe of Mountain Province, which became a common belief among the people in the northern Philippines. This practice has been followed for 2,000 years. They believe that this ritual prevents monsters and beasts from taking the dead bodies, and also purifies or blesses the departed soul. In this tradition, the body of the dead is buried in a fetal position, in a coffin, and then hanged to the sides of the cliff above the ground. To this day, the age-old tradition continues to be performed, albeit on a much smaller scale than before. The tradition is followed by a belief that the higher the body is hung, the greater the chance of spirits reaching a higher nature in the afterlife. Dancing with the dead. Also known as Famadihana or turning of the bones, this is another unique funeral tradition, followed by the Malagasy people in Madagascar. The custom is based upon a belief that the spirits of the dead finally join the world of the ancestors after the body's complete decomposition, and appropriate ceremonies, which may take many years. After every 7 years or so, the families who can afford new clothes celebrate this festival. People bring forth the bodies of their ancestors from the family crypts, rewrap the corpses in fresh cloth, and rewrite their names on the cloth, so they will always be remembered. Then they dance to live music while carrying the corpses over their heads, and go around the tomb before returning the corpses to the family tomb. They also offer gifts to the dead, and crying is highly discouraged. According to the Malagasy people, this tradition is performed to show respect to their ancestors. Finger cutting. This tradition is followed in the western New Guinea province of Indonesia, by the Dani tribe. You might have heard of people crying and mourning over the pain of the close one's death. But the Dani tribe has a different way of expressing grief over the deceased. The top half of the woman's finger is cut during the funeral ceremony. Once the amputation is done, the bleeding is stopped by cauterization, and to help form a new fingertip, the fingertip is then buried away with their loved ones. It is believed that if the fingertips are kept, the spirit of the late relatives may haunt the village. Hence, to satisfy the ancestral ghost, they follow this bizarre tradition. However, due to the increasing health risks, this practice has now been reduced. Foot binding. This custom is followed in China. As the name refers, the custom follows breaking and tightly binding the feet of young girls to change the shape and size of their feet. It is considered a mark of beauty. The process was started before the arch of the foot had a chance to develop fully, usually between the ages of 4 and 9. The altered feet were known as the Golden Lotus feet. Whereas, the shoes that were used were known as the Lotus shoes. This tradition had pretty bad effects on young girls. Not only did they experience utter discomfort and pain while walking, but few of them became disabled and had lost the capability to walk fast due to this ruthless tradition. It was also believed that it increased the prospects of the girl's marriage, enhancing her beauty. Currently, this tradition has dwindled to only a small handful of elderly Chinese women. Wedding bondage. Many areas in the world have their unique wedding rituals, but this one will leave you stunned. Yet another unique tradition is followed in Indonesia. the wedding tradition where the newlyweds aren't permitted to go to the bathroom for 3 days and nights, and are also asked to ingest a restricted diet after their wedding. A constant watch is kept on the couple so that they don't break this tradition. This is done to avoid bad luck, unhappy marriage, infidelity, and the death of their firstborn. This ritual was begun by the Taidong community. People of the community take this custom seriously and have been following this for years. Beating husbands. The country, which is known for its abundant variety of cultures, India, also holds one such strange tradition, performed in the small town of Barsana near Mathura, in the state of Uttar Pradesh, is the unusual tradition of Lath Maar, performed to celebrate Holi. Thousands of people gather to witness the Lath Maar Holi, where women beat up men with sticks. Yes, you heard it right. And the people around them sing Holi, and chant the name of Lord Krishna. Thousands of people gather around to see this amusing yet strange tradition. Let us tell you the story behind this tradition. Legend has it that Lord Krishna visited his beloved Radha's village on this day, and playfully teased her and her friends. Taking offense at this, the women of Barsana chased him away. Keeping in sync with the story, the men from Nand go and visit the town of Barsana every year, only to be greeted by the sticks of the women there. The ladies hurl sticks at the men, who try to shield themselves as much as they can. The unlucky ones are captured by the enthusiastic women, who then make the men wear female clothing and dance in public.